Almost every year I do a video like this, and 100% of the time I'm wrong. But what the hell, these videos get views. So let's talk about some of the Rolex 2022 predictions. We're also going to throw in some Tudor predictions as well. The first model I want to talk about is Rolex Submariner. There are a few different rumors floating around about a Hulk model being released, also about a red bezel Submariner being released. I don't think either one of those things would happen. I think Hulk would not really make sense right now because there's the Starbucks or the Cermet model that already is in the lineup. And a red bezel Submariner honestly looks kind of ugly. I don't think it's a very likely Rolex to be released. Besides it being ugly, it also doesn't really fit within this Submariner lineup of watches. They just did a huge update a year ago and a couple of years ago, so I don't think they're going to be doing a lot of new models, a lot of new colors in this lineup. My feeling is they're probably just going to leave it as is. It's doing fine, just keep it the way it is. The thing that I can kind of see happening, probably not going to happen, but I still want to mention it anyways, we might see a rose gold Submariner. Wouldn't that be cool? And I personally would love to see that. I don't want any crazy colors. I don't want green bezels, green dials on the rose gold Submariner. I just want black dial, black bezel, rose gold Submariner. Of course, I won't be able to afford it and buy it, but I can still appreciate it from the distance for what it is. The next rumor of Milgauss and Air King being discontinued or being updated, I think a very likely scenario of these models either being discontinued or being updated. I know that Milgauss specifically has a pretty good fan base, people that love this model. I know that Tim from Watchbox Reviews loves the Milgauss model. I personally don't care much for it. If they discontinued this model, if they discontinued the Air King, wouldn't be a big deal. I think most watch enthusiasts feel the same way. The only way I would really get excited about the Milgauss or the Air King for that matter, if they really redesigned it. If they did something unique, maybe brought back that vintage vibe that these watches used to have, or maybe created a whole new look for the same line of watches. But I don't see that happening this year. Most likely they're gonna discontinue them and bring them back updated a few years down the road, because remember, they're not just playing short game year-to-year releases, they also have to plan out their releases for the years to come. Another boring prediction, and probably a true prediction, is the fact that Rolex Datejust models will get more different dial color variations. I think this is a pretty strong prediction based on the success that Oyster Perpetual models have had in the market. I think a lot of people would like to see the same color variations, or similar color variations, I should say, on Rolex Datejust models. I also wouldn't be surprised to see the crazy dial styles that we have seen on the 36 model last year brought to the 41 model this year, because not only women are interested in these crazy dials apparently, men also like and appreciate them, so why not bring them to the bigger models as well. Oyster Perpetual line is probably going to stay the same. It's been working really well for them. Why change it? They might add or take away some colors, but for the most part, I think it's going to stay about the same. Now the GMT Master. Everyone is talking about a Coke, and to be fair, everyone has been talking about a GMT Coke for like the last 5-6 years. Ever since the Pepsi bezel came out, people started circulating rumors about a Coke GMT coming out as well. Now, personally, I would love to see that. Those watches look really awesome, but I don't think that's gonna happen. The reason being, Rolex lineup already is pretty colorful. You have a two-tone root beer, you have also a rose gold root beer, you have a Pepsi, and you also have a Batman. So all of them are kind of two tones, and there's a lot of color, a lot of choice already. So I think Rolex is likely to introduce just a simple black bezel GMT version, like they used to have, that was discontinued. So it's probably going to be released with a new movement, hopefully on the Oyster bracelet, and then probably in the future updated to the Jubilee. But that's just my prediction. I think this lineup is going to stay pretty boring. They're just going to keep everything as is and add black bezel, black dial GMT Master 2 with the new movement. Another rumor that has been circulating around the internet, some people swear by it, some people say they can guarantee it, that this will happen, a titanium Yachtmaster. We've seen some renders, we've seen some leaked photos possibly. I don't know. Rolex is not really adventurous with titanium watches or ceramic watches in their lineup. If it happens, it'd be really cool to see. Yachtmaster to me has always been kind of a cool alternative to a Submariner. Everybody knows what Submariner is and what Submariner does. Yachtmaster, you have to be a little bit more within the watch community to really appreciate and to actually go ahead and buy one. So it'd be a cool model to see in titanium and might be a start to something new. The last rumor / prediction I want to talk about, stainless steel Rolex Daytona with a ceramic bezel being discontinued and replaced with a stainless steel bezel model. Now this rumor has been going around for a while, and it's one of the reasons why lately stainless steel Rolex Daytonas with ceramic bezels have gone through the roof in terms of resale value. They were always crazy priced, but now is just insane. I think a lot of people are speculating that this might actually happen because stainless steel Rolex Daytona models haven't really been updated since 2016. Having it refreshed 6 years later sort of makes sense, and Rolex might also go for a larger case size like we've seen with Rolex Submariner having a 41mm case size on these Daytonas. If this actually happens, two predictions. Number one, of course, the ceramic stainless steel Rolex Daytonas are going to go through the roof on the resale market. I'm even afraid to think of the prices that those watches might dictate. Number two, this model will be quite divisive. Stainless steel bezel watches are not to everyone's liking. Some people will argue it's also less durable than the ceramic, although these watches are getting to the crazy price points. I don't know how many people still wear their Daytonas as sports watches as these watches were intended. I feel like now these watches become more of a statement pieces and more of dressier type watches. This might happen, and if it does, it would be a really exciting refresh, and I hope it does. It will also be interesting to see how the industry progresses and what type of copycat watches we will see from other brands. Will other brands try to create watches to fill the demand for the ceramic bezel Daytonas, or will other brands embrace this new stainless steel look of Daytonas? Because as we know, Rolex a lot of times dictates where the watch industry is heading towards. Lastly, let's talk about Tudor. What I like about Tudor, they're pretty unpredictable. Sometimes they release models that nobody ever saw coming, so I hope they surprise us with these type of models this year. I wouldn't be surprised to see a new model with a lot of different dial variations, similar to what we've seen with Rolex Oyster Perpetual, because as it is right now, Tudor is sort of very dependent on the Tudor Black Bay lineup of watches. So it'd be good for them to release a brand new model, something that we haven't seen before, something dressy / sporty like the Oyster Perpetual models with a variety of different color combinations. And we know that Tudor got the balls to do this. A Tudor release that has been on wish lists of a lot of watch enthusiasts, including myself, is a Tudor Black Bay 58 GMT Pepsi. So the same as their current GMT, but in a 58 case, slimmer and smaller. I think the limitation and why it hasn't happened yet was probably the overall thickness of their GMT movement. The movement has been out for a few years now, so hopefully they were able to engineer it to be slimmer and to fit in the 58 case. So yeah, Tudor is a bit unpredictable. I honestly have no idea what they're going to come up with. Maybe some update to the Pelagos, maybe some new models with different colors, maybe an update to their Ranger model, bring that back. I don't know. They are an unpredictable wild card in the watch industry, and that's why I love them. Most of the time, speculating and being excited about new releases is more fun than the actual new releases. That's why we make these videos every year. I appreciate you watching this one until the end. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We release new videos every week. And leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what are your predictions for new releases from Rolex and Tudor for 2022. We always enjoy reading your comments. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.